This Imperial War Museum film from March 1944 shows Dockgate 8 of the Western Docks at Southampton, which were at the time owned by Southern Railways. Guarding the pillared gate, which today is a listed monument, are a policeman and a member of the US military police. Although the policeman can be seen checking a British truck, it is a GI who waves a US Army Jeep through. In the film, LCT 500 can be seen moored alongside the Western Docks quayside. The skipper would receive orders to rendezvous along the coast before D-Day to embark self-propelled artillery and demolition vehicles of the Canadian 7th Brigade at Hard S4 at Northam on the River Itchen. In the film, landing craft tanks, or LCTs, can be seen moored together up to 6 deep, but as D-Day approached, the shortage of landing craft became an issue, as they were essential if the Allies were to land sufficient troops to establish a beachhead before German reinforcements arrived. In preparation for D-Day, Force G was loaded at Southampton, and whilst Force J loaded at Southampton and Portsmouth, they both assembled at Southampton in the Solent and off Spithead. In the film, LCT 518 can be seen, which carried the 19th Canadian Field Regiment alongside LCT 882, which carried the headquarters of the 8th Canadian Infantry Brigade, and moored alongside the quayside LCT 855, which carried the 14th Canadian Field Regiment RCA. Next along the quayside is Her Majesty's Canadian LCI, or Landing Craft Infantry Large 250, skippered by Lieutenant H.M. Harrison of the Royal Canadian Navy Volunteer Reserve, which carried 180 men with 120 bicycles of B Company, as well as the headquarters of the Highland Light Infantry of Canada, whilst moored alongside is LCH 167, which carried the headquarters of the North Shore Regiment. Further along are 2 old ladies of the Royal Navy, Ramillies and Warspite. They were assigned to Bombardment Force D. At 500 hours on the 6th of June 1944, Warspite was the first ship to open fire, bombarding the German battery from a position 26,000 yards offshore to support landings by the British 3rd Division on Sword Beach. The cameraman then moves to Southampton's older eastern docks, and in particular the Empress Dock. Landing craft here are also moored in large numbers, and it was said that prior to D-Day it was possible to walk across from one side of the harbour to the other without getting wet. In dry dock for repairs is HMS Invicta, assigned to Force J in preparation for Operation Overlord. She was allocated a 510 flotilla and carried members of the 7th Canadian Infantry Brigade to Juno Beach. Southern Railway ferry, the Isle of Guernsey, converted for military service to a landing ship infantry LSI, is awaiting the landing craft moving alongside the hull to be winched up onto the ship's davits. As part of Assault Convoy J-10, her 6 landing craft put troops ashore also on Juno Beach, and she was to make a further 7 return crossings during November 1944. An RAF Short Sunderland comes into the harbour, probably disembarking military passengers at Hythe on Southampton Water in preparation for D-Day. The commercial air traffic long since moved to Poole and Dorset. As LCT 878 is seen leaving the Empress Dock, great floating concrete blocks or caissons can be seen around the dock, many of which were constructed in Southampton's dry docks. Local people were told they were floating pontoons. It was only on D-Day that their real significance was generally appreciated.